Embarking on a quest to redefine the essence of our existence, Neville Goddard introduces a provocative notion: we possess the divine ability to shape our destinies through the sheer force of our imagination. This concept challenges the very fabric of our traditional beliefs, inviting us to explore the depths of our creative potential. In the beginning, we craft a vision of the life we desire, holding it within our minds, seeing ourselves already in possession of our aspirations or embodying the traits of our ideal selves. At this pivotal moment, we are urged to act as if this envisioned reality is an unbreakable covenant, mirroring the omnipotence of a deity or the creator of the universe. This amalgamation serves as a perfect union in the creative process, as illustrated in 2 Samuel 7 verses 12 to 14. Your descendants will follow you, one from your own bloodline, and I will establish his kingdom. He will build a house for my name, and I will make his throne everlasting. I will be his protector, and he will be my son. This passage highlights the divine nature of our creative endeavors. The term son encompasses not only biological progeny but all creations. Similarly, John 1 verse 13 states, "Born not of blood, nor of the desire of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God." Furthermore, John 3 verse 7 articulates that every creation is divine, springing forth from God. This divine origin is embedded in our essence, and to deny it is to defy the natural world. This core belief is challenged when we attempt to alter our reality solely through physical means. As mentioned, every creation is divine, reaching into the realms of our imagination. In Revelation 1 verse 5, Jesus is celebrated as the faithful witness, the first to rise from the dead. What does this signify? Who is the first life, the evidence of existence amidst death? Our Savior, representing the possibility of renewal or transformation. The situation we must transcend precedes our salvation. And as stated in Romans 10 verse 15, how can they preach unless they are sent? What is the foundation of all existence? The Creator transforms into the creation to ultimately rediscover itself as the Creator and return to its origin, initiating a cycle of creation. God's affection for humanity, his creation, propelled him to become human, hoping this act of self-sacrifice would transition him from his mortal form back to his divine state. This narrative begins with God's embodiment in humanity and ends with humanity's elevation to divinity, returning to the source, drawing near to us so we may return to him. In Galatians 2 verse 20, a similar sentiment is shared: "I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. The life I now live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me." God dwells within us and through us by our extraordinary human imagination. For it is said that the human form is pure imagination, or the divine itself, for vast spaces exist between the atoms that constitute our bodies. When God rises in our consciousness to reform us in his image, all impossibilities fade away. Through this awakening, we discover our true selves. Herein lies the profound mystery, God's crucifixion, where his eternal domain intersects with our temporal reality. At this intersection, this sacrifice, we are endowed with life. Furthermore, God is present at both ends of this cross, as are we when we are aware of his presence within us. It is proclaimed, "Life can only flourish if I die, yet if I depart and quickly rise again, you will join me on your earthly journey," encapsulated in this declaration. Therefore, let these words resonate: only through my death can you truly embrace life. Exploring the depths of Neville Goddard's philosophy, we embark on a journey through the boundless ocean of spiritual enlightenment, where each particle of wisdom holds the potential for infinite creation and realization. His teachings, timeless in their resonance, challenge us to redefine our perception of reality, the constructs of time and space, and, fundamentally, our divine essence. Goddard's principle that we co-create our reality, envisioning and manifesting our dreams, elevates beyond mere metaphysical theory to a fundamental truth about our nature and capabilities. This creative process, as depicted in Holy Scriptures and emphasized by Goddard, is comparable to planting a seed in the fertile ground of our imagination, nurturing it with faith and persistence until it sprouts and thrives in the physical realm. As demonstrated in 2 Samuel 7 and John 1 and 3, the act of creation reveals that we are not just descendants of the divine but active participants in an ongoing cycle of creation. Each thought, dream, or desire we produce is essentially an expression of divine will, echoing the eternal I Am that precedes physical existence. Recognizing this truth opens us to the limitless expanse of our creative power, only restrained by our self-imposed limits. The depiction of Jesus as the faithful witness and the pioneer of resurrection in Revelation 1 verse 5 symbolizes our potential for spiritual rebirth and transformation. Like Jesus, who overcame death to become the Savior, we hold the capacity to transcend our current limitations, fears, and circumstances, crafting a new existence that reflects our true divine nature. The concept of manifestation, explored in Romans 10 verse 15, serves as a metaphor for the act of creation. How can our dreams and goals become reality if not first imagined and pursued with conviction and action? Every act of creation begins with transferring a thought or wish from the invisible to the visible, from potentiality to actuality. The narrative of God's incarnation and our eventual rise to divinity illustrates the eternal cycle of descent and ascent, forgetting and remembering, dying and being reborn. Living our lives through the inner Christ, as mentioned in Galatians 2 verse 20, we engage in this divine rhythm, recognizing ourselves not as passive observers but as dynamic creators of our fate. The crucifixion and resurrection represent more than just sacrifice and redemption. They signify the union of divine and human, eternal and temporal. This act of divine love uncovers our true nature as eternal, divine beings, showing that death, be it physical, emotional, or spiritual, is merely a transition to deeper understanding and richer experiences of life. Embracing our divinity and boldly declaring, "Before the world was, I am," is a profoundly liberating and transformative act. Accepting this truth releases us from the constraints of fear, doubt, and limitation, leading us into a domain of endless possibilities to be, create, and experience life in its entirety. Thus, Goddard's insights, deeply anchored in biblical teachings, illuminate our path to self-discovery and fulfillment. They remind us that in life's grand narrative, we are simultaneously the playwright, director, and lead actor of our divine saga. Through this continual act of creation, we discover that returning to God, our original source, is the path to uncovering our most authentic selves.